Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. I have two stories to share with you in this very latest Moon Lambo Hot Jam. I'll start with this from you today. SEC scores big win against Ripple. Uh-oh, that doesn't sound good. And then there's also this headline from the Crypto Basic. Ex-SEC chair alludes to capital raising in Ripple XRP sales. Pundits point to Ethereum ICO. And so they're talking about, if you can see on the screen, former SEC chair Jay Clayton, that asshat prick, he was put on the spot. And of course, you know, are you expecting some sort of straightforward answer or admission that, you know, him attacking XRP effectively and XRP holders on his last day in office, if you're expecting that he's going to be like, yeah, I was wrong about that. That was a bad move. I was a jerk. Nothing like that. But he was at least asked about this because things didn't go so well for the SEC, and Jay Clayton made that thing happen. That lawsuit wouldn't have happened if not for his approval, because it was a 3-2 vote. He was for it. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. And by the way, I do have perspective from a couple of attorneys within the XRP community, including attorney Bill Morgan and attorney Jeremy Hogan. So here's the headline again. SEC scores big win against Ripple. The United States District Court for the Southern District of New York has delivered a significant ruling in favor of the Securities and Exchange Commission in its ongoing case against Ripple Labs. Magistrate Judge Sarah Netburn granted the SEC's motion to compel, requiring Ripple to produce comprehensive financial statements for 2022 through 2023 post-complaint contracts and to answer an interrogatory regarding the proceeds from institutional XRP sales after the complaint was filed. Okay, and so a day or two ago, I published a video highlighting that this is what the SEC was going for, and it's pretty gross to me because this wasn't in the original complaint. These are not transactions that the SEC named, and they're not amending their complaint. There's nothing's happening on that front, but it looks to me, to be frank with you, that the SEC is just trying to be as irritating as possible. Which is what you'd expect, because these are terrible, terrible humans. It's completely absurd, obviously. But they lost, and they're sour about it, obviously. They're petulant children. But they were on the wrong side of history, and that's just that. We were very optimistic that justice would be done. It has been done. And now they're just throwing a hissy fit. Anyway, peace continues. Ripple's defense contended that the SEC's request for post-complaint discovery was untimely and previously barred by the court's ruling in June 2021. However, Judge Netburn clarified that the earlier denial was contextual, tied to expert merits discovery, and not controlling in the current matter. The judge has ordered Ripple to provide its 2022 through 2023 financial statements, which the SEC argues are essential for determining an appropriate remedy. Despite Ripple's claim that its financial health is irrelevant and highly confidential, the court has deemed this information potentially probative to the remedy stage. The dispute extended to whether Ripple's post-complaint contract should be disclosed, since the SEC believes these documents could be crucial in deciding the necessity and justification of an injunction. Judge Netburn has ordered the production of these contracts, siding with the SEC's stance that they may reveal whether Ripple's post-complaint behavior has complied with court rulings, potentially influencing the imposition of an injunction. The SEC's victory also includes Ripple being ordered to answer an additional interrogatory on the proceeds from XRP institutional sales after the initial complaint, which could influence the determination of any disgorgement. Although Ripple disagreed with the relevance of this request, the court found the SEC had sufficiently shown that this information could assist in crafting an appropriate remedy. So, folks, despite the SEC effectively throwing a hissy fit here, I don't see how this is going to materially help them in any sort of substantial or truly meaningful way. Because the bottom line is, despite what they're doing here, XRP's in the clear. They lost. They lost on the thing that actually mattered in this case. And they're clearly not operating in good faith here, right? Who would think? I understand that the judge allowed this. And procedurally, maybe there's precedent for that, whatever. But even so, does anybody listening think the SEC's operating in good faith, or think that they're really trying to get to the truth and just do whatever is just and right? No. Nobody thinks that, right? Zero humans think that. Even the SEC doesn't think that. They know what they're doing, little pricks. Here you have a post from attorney Bill Morgan. I predicted that Judge Torres would order discovery of the post-sale contracts, and today she ordered they be discovered. The SEC only needed to persuade the court that it would not lead to a costly mini-trial, and it seems it succeeded on that point. And so we'll see. So fine, maybe it doesn't become something, more or less functionally equivalent to a mini-trial, but I'll tell you this, on the surface, it looks like they're just trying to argue new stuff. It's as if they should just open a separate case if they even could. Which is absurd, though. I mean, it's completely stupid. And then you have this post from attorney Jeremy Hogan. He said, I didn't really comment on this motion because, well, it was a little boring and I didn't feel it was important to Joe/Jane XRP. Call me Macbeth, but I still don't. So he thinks that this isn't meaningful. And it is true. Like, I'm covering this just because it's part of what is relevant to XRP holders. But we got our news. This is not going to impact us on a personal level, but I still want to cover it because I despise the SEC. And it's disgusting what they're doing, and I think people should know about it because they continue to behave like this. They're just a disgusting agency. Then we have this from the Crypto Basic. Ex-SEC chair alludes to capital raising in Ripple XRP sales. Pundits point to Ethereum ICO. Industry commentators have spotlighted the Ethereum ICO following remarks from former SEC chair Jay Clayton on Ripple's XRP sales being attributed to securities transactions involving capital raising. Clayton made these comments while speaking in an interview with 9 Blocks Capital co-founder Henry Arslanian on January 26th. The conversation revolved around the current crypto regulatory landscape in the United States and potential avenues for improvement. Clayton argued that the crypto regulatory scene in the U.S. does not lack clarity. He contends that crypto-focused firms have advocated for exemptions from established securities laws that traditionally govern the financial sector, suggesting these should naturally extend to the crypto scene. Arslanian queried Clayton about his perspective on the significant July 13th ruling in the Ripple v. SEC case. And so here we go. This ruling, offering a partial win to both parties, has garnered applause from the XRP community as it underscored that XRP, by definition, is not a security. And so, folks, you can accurately state that it was a partial win. That's from a technical perspective true. But let's be real here. The only thing that truly mattered, the only thing hypercritical in this case, was the legal status of XRP. The SEC suffered a stunning defeat on that. And so that's why I don't like to even just word it as like a partial victory. This was complete decimation of the SEC. They lost massively. One of the best days of my life. I am not kidding. It's just fantastic to see that July 13th, absolutely XRP victory day. Anyway, piece continues. In his response to Arslanian, Clayton emphasized that the U.S. SEC acknowledges 2 categories of securities transactions: those focused on capital raising, often found in ICOs, and those involving secondary trading. The ex-SEC chair highlighted the July 13th judgment, noting that the court identified Ripple's initial XRP sales to institutions as unregistered securities transactions, whereas the secondary trading transactions were not categorized as securities offerings. While acknowledging potential appeals for both rulings, Clayton emphasized a key point. The SEC maintains stringent regulation on transactions seeking to raise capital from the public through initial coin offerings. And so, folks, there you have it. He was asked point blank about this. He was put on the spot. And he's like, we partial win. We got some what we wanted here. He won't admit that he was on the wrong side of history, that he won't admit that it was a stunning defeat. He lost, son. That little bitch ass lost. He won't ever acknowledge it, though. He should feel incredible shame, and I doubt he feels an ounce of it. What a disgusting human. Because what he was doing clearly was not done in good faith. And he harmed so many people. So many people. I am substantially worse off financially because of that guy. And I'm willing to bet that's true for pretty much all of you listening, because XRP effectively missed a market cycle. Yes, it moved in correlation with Bitcoin, like you'd expect, but it was shackled. It didn't run to a new all-time high. It's the only top 10 coin that didn't run to a new all-time high when the market got hot. The only one. Is that a coinky-dink? What do you think? So I'm disgusted by this still. But I did like seeing him on the spot for it, but my God, like, I didn't think for a second he'd ever say anything other than what he just did. I'm just highlighting it because this is a disgusting human and he should be derided for it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.